Dominicks was a Chicago area grocery store chain and subsidiary of Safeway Inc. that opened in 1918 and closed in 2013. If you've clicked onto this video, then you know what today is. It's Throwback Thursday. Every Thursday, I'll be releasing a new video of an old video that I did before. These new videos are longer and have more detail than the ones before. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so you get notified of my latest video. Be sure to leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video. Thanks for watching.
At Dominick's, we've sliced the price on our traditional cut USDA Select Beef Loin Boneless Strip Steaks, now just $2.99 per pound. In Dominick's Produce Department, you'll always find the best of the bunch, like our golden ripe yellow bananas, just 29 cents a pound. And what would the holidays be without all those delectable cookies? Bake up a batch or several with holly sugar, now only 99 cents a 5-pound bag.
In 1918, Dominick DiMatteo established a small deli squeezed into a 20 by 50 foot location on Chicago's west side. The roots of Dominicks reaches back to 1909 when Sicilian-born Dominick DiMatteo immigrated to America, settling in Chicago. In that same year, Dominick DiMatteo Jr. was born, and as soon as he was old enough, the young DiMatteo began helping out with the business. He was only 16 years old when he took over the management of a second store launched in 1934. The first store was located at 3832 West Ohio Avenue on Chicago's northwest side. It was a small 1,000 square foot storefront with sawdust on the floor and a single coal stove to provide heat. He began his day at 4 a.m., visiting the produce and meat markets to hand-select the items he would sell in his store that day. The store opened at 7 a.m., and not long after, customers would make the first of 2 to 3 daily visits to the store. It was this continuous customer contact that taught Dominick the fundamentals of customer service. The quote on the door read, "Dominicks belongs to customers." It was a time of transition in the grocery business, which was making the switch from orders being filled by clerks to self-service, a concept pioneered by Clarence Saunders and his Piggly Wiggly stores. Next came the supermarket concept that flourished in the years following World War II. In 1950, the DiMatteos opened their first supermarket. The facility was 14,000 square feet in size, and it inaugurated the rise of a major Chicago area chain of large format stores. It was also one of the first of the new supermarkets to introduce in-store delicatessens and a frozen food section. In April of 1967, in the aftermath of the deadliest tornado ever to hit Chicago, pictures surfaced of an E4 tornado ravaging behind a Dominicks and a Corvette department store in Oaklawn. The tornado left 33 people dead and dozens more injured. By the early 1960s, Dominicks Finer Foods had expanded to 7 stores throughout Chicago. By 1968, the Dominicks chain totaled 19 stores, at which point the DiMatteos elected to sell the business to Fisher Foods Inc., a Cleveland company run by John and Carl Fazio, who in a short period of time had transformed a 6-store chain into a 74-store operation. The DiMatteo family continued to run the Chicago stores, and although Fisher Foods had the financial resources to grow the chain to 71 units, the DiMatteos were not happy with the arrangement. In February of 1981, DiMatteo Sr. passes away at the age of 87. Also that same year, the DiMatteo family decides to purchase the 71-store chain back from Fisher Foods for $80 million. The store's concept expanded through 1980s as Dominicks continued to introduce new ideas to the world, such as food and drug combo stores, video departments, one-hour photos, and bulk foods. In October of 1982, in the wake of the Tylenol cyanide killings that took the lives of 7 people, a customer unknowingly returns a contaminated bottle of Tylenol to a Dominicks in the near North Side. No one is arrested as the case remains unsolved more than 30 years later. In May of 1985, Dominicks purchases 16 stores from the struggling Eagles chain from parent company Lucky Stores, bringing in the total store count to 96. Also in 1985, Dominick Jr. steps down as CEO and is replaced by his brother James. While Dominicks remained the trendsetter among the Chicago supermarket chains during the rest of the decade, it did not get close to the gap on market share with Jewel, which was especially established in city neighborhoods. It even joined forces with Starbucks Coffee to install coffee bars in several of the suburban stores. It was well ahead of the curve when it began testing a shopping cart that included a computer screen, which not only displayed a store directory, but also recipes and advertisements. On the other end of the grocery business, Dominicks took steps to counter the rise of warehouse stores. In 1987, introducing Omni Superstores, massive stores, more than 85,000 square feet, that sold both food and non-food items 24 hours a day. In 1993, Dominick DiMatteo Jr. died, leading to speculation that his heirs would soon sell the business. At the time of James DiMatteo's death, Dominicks, with an estimated 26% share of the Chicago market, operated 86 Dominicks stores and 16 Omni Superstores, altogether generating around $2 billion in annual sales. The DiMatteo family sold the chain to an investment partnership headed by Yucaipa Company, a rapidly growing Los Angeles-based supermarket holding company. The purchase price was $692 million. Yucaipa started rolling out more stores adopting the chain's new European-style open market fresh store concept that featured in-store dining, restaurant-quality takeout food, upscale meat and produce departments, specialty bakeries, and floral shops. In February of 1996, described as an early pioneer in video rentals, Dominicks closes its remaining 21 showcase video departments. In October of that year, privately held Dominicks begins its first day of being publicly traded, selling 8 million shares. In 1997, just 10 years after its introduction, Dominicks announces it will convert all of their Omni stores into Dominicks. In 1998, California-based Safeway acquired Dominicks at a price tag of $1.8 billion, gaining a market share in the Midwest market. Safeway instituted changes immediately. They tried to save money by having the California office handle buying, and in the process eliminating a whole host of middle managers who knew the tastes of local customers. While pricing and marketing executives were lopped off, other significant members of management quit on their own, resulting in Dominicks losing touch with its market. Familiar products were replaced by higher-margin Safeway Select house brand of products foreign to Chicago consumers. Safeway ended a long-standing practice of Dominicks filling customer special order requests, indicative of Dominick DiMatteo's formula of offering personalized neighborhood service that had made the chain a success in the first place. Customers did not like the changes and showed their displeasure by shopping elsewhere, resulting in Dominicks' market share crumbling. Between 2002 and 2007, Dominicks' market share in the Chicago region declined from 24.4% to 14.5%. In February of 2007, Safeway announces that 14 Dominick stores would be closed by April. In December of 2009, NBA legend Michael Jordan sues Dominicks and Jewel for unauthorized use of his image in ads. Over time, Dominicks closed stores due to lack of sales and overall poor performance. In April of 2012, Chicago Crane and Business reports that Dominick's market share had dipped to 9.2%. The article reported that average sales at each Dominick store had fallen to less than $400,000 a week, $50,000 short of what is considered profitable. In 2013, Safeway announced that it would sell its remaining 72 Dominick stores to potential buyers. Jewel announced it was picking up 4 of those locations. At the time of its closing, Dominick's market share was at 8.7%, down from its record high of nearly 30% in the 90s, having fallen below Walmart's growing 9.4% and Jewel's falling 29%. By 2014, Dominicks was essentially out of business. One location remained open in Bannockburn until January 25th, and another in Westchester, Illinois, until January 28th, 2014. So what are your favorite memories of this place? Leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video below. Thanks for watching. Hey, you just watched my video. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button and please subscribe to Eric C. Productions.